Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blast Podcast. This is Matt of Carbon County Cop Block coming at you live tonight, as well as we've got.
I'm Scott from the Oath Accountability Project, coming live from the side of a mountain and none of your business.
And you got Allentown Cop Block Rick Gonzalez from Allentown, and we're in the studios here in Allentown.
Yeah.
All right.
How was everybody's week?
Mine was pretty mundane. What about yours, Matt?
Not too much, but Rick, you had a fun and interesting weekend, didn't you?
Oh yeah, there was a serious fire that happened around the corner from from where I'm at, and I went there to film the fire, and I had a rookie police officer literally shove me back as she let two other reporters stand where I was standing at that worked for the morning call.
Wait. So two reporters were standing there and they came up and pushed you?
No, I was standing there with two reporters.
Yeah. The cops came up and they pushed you back?
Yeah, they started. I was there to film in the fire, and they came
But the other people were allowed to film.
Yeah, but
What
I
the hell?
wasn't. I was being shoved back, so I was pretty upset about that.
And well, wait, you're a well-known member of the press and the community at this point, right?
Yeah, they.
I mean, I would think, especially with the law enforcement, they got to know who you are.
The Allentown Police Department pretty much sees me all the time when I'm out there. I'm not gonna, if they're watching, albeit, you know who I am. If I see you pulling over somebody or interacting with the public, I'm going to film it. So, yeah, I'm pretty well known to them. So I was surprised to have one of their officers actually physically put their hands on me, which I never had done before.
Like when they came, like they actually shoved you back?
They actually shoved me back, and in the video you can see me saying, why are you pushing me back and allow them to, be there? Oh, they work for the morning call, so I'm a journalist too. Oh, who do you work for? So that's none of your business. Who gives you the right to shove me back and violate my First Amendment right to film?
Yep.
That's just absolutely horrible.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna let other members of the press stand there and push you back, that sounds like selective enforcement to me. Now, now, did you attempt to file a complaint?
Yes, I did. And
how far did that get you?
Well, they gave me a piece of paper that said a feedback form, but it's not a complaint form.
Now, hold on. In order for you to give a complaint, you have to be able to write. You can't just go and tell them. Because let's say, what if I can't read or write, and I go in there and say, look, I was harassed. They say, well, fill this out. I just say, well, I can't. They say, well, that's what you got to do. So if I'm illiterate, I can't make complaints.
Well,
basically,
and then the form that they're choosing is even better because it's more of a slap in the face. And the reason why I say that is because that is the same system that you use at like a Best Buy or McDonald's when you're done, with something like that. They're like, here, fill out a review form. It's not like an actual complaint form. They didn't give them the time to talk to a person and put it down on a complaint. They gave them a review form. Like, that's just disrespectful.
Yeah, feedback.
Not only that,
you're a customer, like a voluntary customer.
Like, not only that, is when I asked for a name and badge number, she was like, no, you're not gonna give me your name and badge number. So is this what your training officers are teaching you while you're out here? She just got sworn in on the December 1st.
Well, Rick, I think tomorrow we should all make a trip down there to make a complaint together, because you know what, that little piece of paper shouldn't mean anything, because if you can't read or write, you should still be able to make complaints. And if anything, you should make them fill it out for you.
I should.
I mean, what else are they doing?
I'm
Sitting
gonna.
around
I'm gonna fill
drinking
it
coffee?
out. I'm gonna fill my complaint and see if they take it. They probably just gonna throw it in the garbage.
No, you ask for it to be put in the file and tell them that you're going to write or get a right to know on it in 6 months, and it better be there because you're recording that you're taking it in.
Dude,
Oh man,
You hold them
Yeah.
accountable.
my screen is freezing over here, man.
well, that's all right. Do what you got to do. Well, we're gonna roll into our next story. So while you troubleshoot your technical difficulties, we're gonna roll to a story out of Pennsylvania. This is a pretty big story. Those of you watching may be familiar, and for those of you that are not, retired state trooper names suspected gunman in deadly turnpike attack. Now, basically, is what happens is we got a police officer, a retired police officer that decided to go rogue. We,
Hardcore.
yeah, I mean, we got a little video here. Let me throw this on the screen share over here, and we'll get this playing over here.
Good afternoon. My name is Sean Logan. I am the Pennsylvania Turnpike Chairman. And it is with great sadness that I announce that we have lost one member of our Turnpike family and one member of our extended Turnpike family during a hold-up attempt this morning. Just before 7 a.m. today, an armed suspect attempted to rob the Turnpike's Fort Littleton Toll Plaza at the 180 milepost on our main line. In the process, the suspect shot and killed Turnpike toll collector Andy Kraus. Mr. Kraus, born on March 12th, 1960. Been on the job less than 3 months. The suspects also shot and killed Ronald Heist, date of birth October 19th, 1944, who was employed by Shad Detective Agency, who was a Turnpike contractor. Mr. Heist, a retired York City police officer, was providing security services. The Turnpike Commission at the time he was killed. On behalf of Governor Tom Wolf and my fellow Turnpike commissioners and everybody in the Pennsylvania Turnpike family, we are deeply saddened by this horrific tragedy. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family and friends of those involved today. Rest assured, the Commonwealth, the Turnpike, and the Pennsylvania State Police will expend whatever resources necessary and make sure we find out exactly what transpired this morning.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so we can avoid spending the entire time sharing that video. Basically, is what we had happen was a retired state trooper goes to a toll booth, puts a gun in two toll workers' faces and orders them in the building. Goes to tie them up and a little bit of a struggle ensues, and about the same time an armored truck pulls up to collect the tolls. When he runs outside, he shoots the armored car driver, and he shot give me 1 second. Let's see. Let's just kind of read a little bit through it. State suspect Clarence Bliggs, a retired Pennsylvania State Police trooper from Neville County, 55, Ronald Heist, died in the incident. Basically, we had a toll worker that was killed, and a and the toll worker was killed, the armored car driver was killed, and the retired cop that tried to rob the place was killed after a little bit of a standoff. The police pulled up on him right as he was emptying the armored car into his own car, and that's where the shootout started. So, basically, he tried to rob these people. It didn't go at all like he planned, and a lot of people that died because it's a retired trooper that I guess thought he was above the law.
That's just an insane story.
Yeah, I mean it's been all over. It's just they went and they searched his house. You know they shut down an interstate. I mean, it was just a big tragedy. But apparently, the woman that survived, she's a tough worker, and they told her to take a few days off, and said she's only going to take a couple, and she's going to come back. So they said she's a pretty strong person. So, you know, my heart goes out to her, and all the families affected by this. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, don't die over there, Rick.
Yeah, Rick.
I'm good.
You have your calendar shoot this weekend, don't you? That's right. It's the calendar shoot for the all Rick all day calendar shoot. 365 days of Rick.
Now, hey Rick, if you could drop down the presentation that's bestowed upon me. I don't know how to make that go away. But yep. So Matt, you had another story.
Yeah. This one is kind of a little ridiculous. Basically, the headline is, officer sentenced to 11 years for raping child and dog.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
He was sentenced to 11 years for raping a child and their dog. So, Darren John Tomlinson, 44, admitted to charges of raping a girl under the age of 13 and also a dog.
Matt, let me stop you right there and let me take over. See if you can figure out what's going on with your microphone, because you are inaudible. It's just that choppy. I'll go ahead and take over. He was sentenced to 11 years and 4 months in Shrewsbury Crown Court. Thompson had worked as a public community support officer for about 9 years when the offenses came to light during an inquiry into separate matters by West Mercia Police's anti-corruption unit. Wow, an anti-corruption unit. Judge Robin Onions told Tomlinson he had caused immeasurable harm and the offenses required a significant degree of planning. The judge told him, I am satisfied on the basis of the psychiatric report, on the basis of the pre-sentence report, and on my own assessment of the case, that you are dangerous. I consider you to be a significant risk of serious harm. He said Tomlinson had a trusted and important job in the community. But these offenses had absolutely no link to his job. Sorry. Tomlinson had been arrested for an unrelated matter on November 13th last year, and as part of that investigation, his mobile phone was seized. On the phone were a number of images showing him engaging in sexual acts with a child and a dog. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... He was sentenced to 11 years and 4 months for raping a child under the age of 13, 4 years concurrent for sexual assault on a child under the age of 13, and 12 months concurrent for bestiality. I'm sorry.
You okay? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, cool.
I had had to mute. I didn't want to be coughing it up in everybody's ears.
So it also says he was banned from working with children for life, which is something I absolutely agree with. This afternoon, West Mercia Police temporary Assistant Chief Constable Steve Collins said, wow, that's a hell of a title, while none of these offenses were connected to his role, he has violated the trust that both the public and his colleagues placed in him in the most heinous of ways. So it kind of goes on to quote another article. We really don't need to go into that. I think we've got enough of our information here to kind of discuss this. But like, that's a special kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Can we go ahead and douchebag of the week?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, douchebag of the week. Cause I mean,
douchebag of the week.
I mean,
I said that.
I would give him douchebag of the week for the dog, but I mean, wow. That it's just it's hard to swallow, you know. We have these people that are trusted members of the community. Hold on, let me throw out my quotes. Trusted members of the community, and it's becoming more and more apparent that you can't trust these people.
Yeah.
I mean, what is going on in our communities now that we have this insane situation?
It's just it's pretty ridiculous that you have an officer who has this kind of mentality and can do this kind of thing. Like, you don't just, I mean, there's psychological reviews that happen, and there's like people out there who this is their job, is to diagnose these people, and this isn't something. I don't see somebody who doesn't act like this just starting off with a child and their dog, you know? That's something that's worked up to. He's done this for a while. So,
yeah, especially if he's bold enough to take pictures. Like, what is he doing with those pictures?
Exactly. So, he's 44 years old, so there's plenty of time that he could have been doing some fucked up shit. And, I'm just really, like, I'm so appalled that they didn't catch him, like, so much sooner. If they have the ability to psychoanalyze these people before you know, if you're going to have people out there doing this kind of job, make sure they're fit to do the job. You know, they're not mentally so fucked up that they think they're okay to rape children and animals at the same time.
I mean, it's insane. It really is. I mean, this anti-corruption board, or what was it, anti-corruption task force or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is a great thing. I mean, what state was this in? I didn't happen to see a state.
I didn't either.
But wherever this happens to be, this should be across the board everywhere. I mean, and actually, I would say that I think we need what we need more than anything is Department of Justice investigations in every police corruption case, for one, and in every police officer involved killing.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think we have one candidate that has spoken to this in the I don't want to get all political on this show. I just want to say we have had one candidate that has proposed this idea, and I do like that idea in particular, and that's Bernie Sanders. But I'm not gonna get all political. But you know, that's what's been on the table, and I kind of like that idea, because then we won't have officers investigating themselves.
Yeah. I'm actually sending you over a story here, Scott. I just rolled across it. It's going to be in the... It's just going to appear here. You see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Check this out. You see that, Rick?
Where you have it at?
It's in the Google Notes.
Alright.
It's out of Chicago. It's police rack up $662 million in one bill for misconduct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, now was that one bill or like throughout
you
the
know,
year?
no, it's all settlements, but that's like the total at the end of the year bill.
Gotcha.
Or no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I misrepresented that. That's actually
And
since
payments since
2004.
2004, yeah.
Yeah. So they've been plagued with misconduct since 2004. It's come out to be, like we said, 662 million. The staggering total includes everything from petty harassment to police torture. That have all been brought more financial misery to the city, already drowning in $1 billion worth of pension debt. Very few police officers are held accountable for their actions, according to at least one local official. Alderman Howard Brookins Jr. provides one possibility. If you were seen going after police, you were seen as being like for crime. He says nothing happened to the police officers even after they got big judgments against them, so it appeared like it was monopoly money. Chicago police, in a statement to the Associated Press, said allegations of misconduct led to 45 firings and 28 suspensions from 2011 to 2015, and in a department of, and that's in a department of about 12,000. So, it sounds like they have a really huge issue with police brutality going on in Chicago. I mean, we know this, though.
I mean, sounds like it. It sounds like people in Chicago are really fed up with the establishment overall. I mean, you saw what happened when a certain, now I don't want to get political. I feel like I have to say this every time, but when a certain candidate came to town, they didn't let him. They didn't let him speak.
Is it that is it that guy who's over your non-political shoulder?
This one?
Yep.
No comment. No comment.
I think it was.
I mean, you can speculate that if you want. I'm just saying there was something that happened over there, and they didn't let him speak. Okay, you got me. It was the Def Jam poetry at the local coffee shop on 12th and Main. You know, they had a big ruckus. They wouldn't let him talk. I don't know if that place even exists.
No idea.
Yeah, but that's insane. Like, what are they gonna do about this? I mean, are they even taking steps to fix it, or is this just gonna be this like cloud that's hovering over them?
Do you think Chicago's gonna be the next Detroit?
I don't know. I mean, Rick, if you lived in Chicago, what would your state of mind be as far as cop blocking? I mean, I know you're out there every day.
My state of mind probably won't be the same.
I mean, you gotta be a little bit, you know, you gotta have a little cojones to be cop blocking in Chicago, because
Kind of sounds like he'd have either been in a black site or in the river by now.
But you know what? They walk around in open carry out there in Chicago, so you know.
And I think I read something recently where they said they were gonna do an inquiry into Hammond Square. You know,
that place is fucked up.
That's the infamous black site. I mean, people have died in there. People have been injured. They even shoved a gun into one guy's butt.
Yeah,
that's not a joke. Look that up. That happened at Hammond Square. And they don't let lawyers in there. Like, it's rough. It's a black site.
Fuck yeah.
It's a black site, and
it was bad enough. I mean, not to go too political and stuff, but it was bad enough, and it is bad enough that we have a place like Guantanamo Bay that runs, but to even have that running on our own citizens on purpose inside of a city, like, if you can think that shit up, you need to be put away somewhere. If that's not what this is supposed to be about, that's not America at all.
I thought they were gonna take that.
That's why we can't do a Guantanamo on actual American soil. They won't do that shit. They're afraid to do that shit because they know that the American people wouldn't fucking stand for that, and our Constitution wouldn't allow it on our own soil. But then these guys are running these type of black sites. There's different kind of black sites throughout the country. Not to get all conspiracy, it's just it's there.
Yep, exactly. Well, why do they have big? Now, I don't want to get all conspiracy or get all political, but if you've seen some of these YouTube videos, like there are actual videos of these these big, large camps, like big buildings, with barbed wire fence around it, but inside playgrounds and swing sets and flowers and and then a little ways down the road across the street they have these giant pits dug, and then across the street from that they have these big storage things with these big plastic bins that are just about the right size for a body. Now, I don't want to get all conspiracy now, and I haven't looked up this fact, but this particular video is pretty convincing. I wouldn't even be able to find it right now. It'd probably take me a while to find it, but it exists.
Yeah, I've seen stuff like that. Those FEMA camps can kind of be a little ridiculous.
Wow, it's actually a lot quieter.
Yeah.
With Rick on the mute.
Sorry, guys. My woman just came home, so.
Yeah, Rick, you should go in and turn your microphone volume down because that thing is super powerful.
I don't think that knob.
Sorry about that.
I don't think that knob does anything, man.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Holy shit.
It doesn't do nothing. You're gonna have to go in and turn it down.
Mic check 1 2.
No, you gotta go into your computer. You gotta go and right click the little
No, he can do it in the Hangouts toolbox. Goes to his settings.
You're right, you can.
How about that? Mic check.
Much better.
It sounds
you
good.
Still got a lot of background noise, but it's better.
Yeah, do you have a fan on or something in the house?
No, there's nothing on.
Okay. Alright, well, we'll have to work on that at some point, but let's get back to okay, now for those of you that don't know, there's a man named John Lang. Now I'm gonna go ahead and share with you guys the entire video because I believe it to be very important. So
yeah, I shared this earlier.
Yeah, this is it's about 8 minutes long, but it's pretty rough. So without further ado,
we've all heard tales of police corruption and brutality by now, but this story may surprise and disturb you. In January, Fresno, California, an activist named John Lang was found stabbed to death inside of his home after predicting that he would be killed by police in his area. His house was also set on fire in the struggle that killed him. Lang was well liked by most of his neighbors, many of whom were shocked by the incident and in disbelief that the man had any enemies. Neighbors insisted that it would be shocking if it was a random killing, as the neighborhood has been getting better. However, according to the predictions Lang was making himself just days before, this attack was far from random. In the days before his death, Lang was insistent that his life was in danger, and that if he died, the Fresno Police Department would be responsible. On January 14th, Lang made a disturbing Facebook post where he eerily predicted his own death. According to one of John's many diary entries, he discovered a license plate scanning scam where Fresno cops would scan license plates at retail store parking lots in lower income neighborhoods. After collecting hits of violations, they then would pull the unsuspecting drivers over a few blocks away from the store location in a marked police vehicle, claiming they simply came across their vehicle through routine driving patrols. This illegal activity was motivated simply by profit and unfairly targeted Fresno's poorer residents. He posted this to a few social media outlets and local news comment sections. As John continued to try and expose the corrupt Fresno police officers, he noticed he started to become a target. He starts to notice police tailing him on the road. John sent an email to a Sacramento Bee reporter about this, trying to get this story known. However, John believed that this reporter was instead feeding his information to law enforcement, as the harassment significantly spiked after this email, which he received no reply to. Local law enforcement began to intimidate and harass John in various ways, some of which is caught by security cameras around his house. John claimed that sometimes the harassment consisted of false traffic stops, shows of force outside of his residence, cops he recognized following him into shops, people surveilling his residence both when he is and is not home, discrediting him with his clients as a pedophile, and much more. John kept a video diary of every strange happening on his YouTube channel, which is still up. Many of the videos capture unknown vehicles parked in front of his property, people walking around his property, and even people trespassing on his property in the middle of the night. John said he tried to file a complaint with Internal Affairs, but was essentially stonewalled and redirected by local law enforcement. His claims were not followed up on.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just.
John started claiming that the Fresno police were now trying to frame him for criminal charges, most notably possession of child pornography, by trying to sneak into his house and plant evidence. This may seem like a far-fetched paranoid accusation, but several of his videos on his YouTube channel suggest that this may have happened. On one occasion, the same Fresno, California sheriff crew that had been harassing him and illegally entering his property were caught outside in a black van using an infrared thermal imager to see if John was home.
Wow.
They then
That's crazy.
a second party with information as to whether he was home or not.
That is
scary.
really. It's disturbing.
And this is the people that get paid without tax dollars.
To protect us.
What you cop suckers gotta say about this, motherfuckers?
In another video, one of John's cameras had a 20-minute blank spot. This was especially unusual because during the time interval that this happened was a part in the day with high traffic volumes, and the system is configured for motion detection, so blank spots were, according to John, nearly impossible during this time frame. This likely meant that the officers also had some kind of access to John's camera system. During this 20-minute period, John believed that the officers snuck into his house to plant evidence for a future arrest. A few days before John's death, he notified a local journalist saying that he thinks they're going to make a move and try to kill him. He also made this Facebook post on the 16th, 3 days before his death, saying, "If I turn up missing or dead tomorrow, remember this van. I think I seen a couple of guys sneak out the side door and into the building when it was parked in the carport this afternoon. I've been causing the city of Fresno a lot of problems lately, which I now regret." On that same day, he posted this YouTube video, which shows the footage capturing the van. Later that same night, John made a desperate post asking any lethal gun owners to come and crash at his place for the night to offer him some protection.
That's insane.
On the 19th of January, John was discovered dead with stab wounds in his back and abdomen while his house was on fire. The Fresno Fire Department put out the fire. It was never determined if he died from the stabbings or from breathing in the smoke. But one thing is for sure, you should check out his YouTube channel before it gets taken down. This happened in January, and nothing has ever come of it. No real investigations have taken place, and whoever was responsible for John's death, whether it be corrupt officers or not, are still roaming the streets. But with all this recorded evidence beforehand, and the fact that John predicted his own death mere days before it happened, it has to point to the fact that these corrupt Fresno police officers were responsible for John's death. To think that we live in a society where we are supposed to feel protected by the police, who carry the motto to protect and serve, but rather all too often we have to fear those same people who are sworn to protect us because of instances like these. Here we see an innocent man who was harassed, oppressed, stalked, and eventually murdered in cold blood by, most likely, the men in blue who are sworn to protect, simply for comments he made on the Fresno Bee news site from 2009 to 2013. Comments that were critical of the way the Fresno Police Department utilized their budgets. This death has gone shockingly unnoticed and has been given very little media attention. Soon this incident may be forgotten, just like many other instances of oppression and abuse by the police. If this bothers you and you care to keep John Lang's murder relevant, share this topic around social media. Do anything to gain attention for it. Share his videos. In fact, we started today and we're hoping to get 5,000 supporters for it to start a federal investigation for this case. A link will be in the description if you just want to take a minute to sign it. Yeah, we know, online petitions for anything usually don't do much, but they can hurt. As always, thanks for watching.
That's insane.
Yeah, that is not cool.
That really just kind of makes you, like.
Yeah. I mean, it just kind of gives me the goosebumps, man.
Yeah.
That's not okay.
Not at all. I mean, it's really hard to play speculation when he's got so much video up and so much you can watch. And I don't know about you guys, but we belong to a couple chat groups online, and it was one that quite a few people, including John, was in. And I remember a post on like the 12th, right around the 12th, 13th area, where he said where that was said. I don't remember if it was him who posted it directly there or somebody posting it on that site on Facebook saying like, "Yo, what's going on with John?" So
Yeah.
I definitely remember when that went down, because some of the people that we interact with, they actually are from the Fresno area. So
I mean, this is one of those stories where I don't have much to say because it's just so shocking and there's so much to point out. Like, I can only speculate to whatever you guys are thinking, which is what we're all thinking, is that the police did that shit.
yeah, I mean,
his neighbors were shocked that he had any enemies at all.
yeah, and then it comes down to, nobody's been charged, nobody's even being investigated at this point. Like, how often, when do murders happen and nobody looks into it? It was like, oh, we got a dead one over here, let's just let it go.
Yep, sweep it under the rug.
Yep. Oh, don't worry about the fact that not only was he freaking taken out Julius Caesar style, but then also, his house was set on fire. But don't worry about it. That kind of stuff happens. It was probably an accidental death.
It was
suicide. He
With
taped
knife
the
wounds
knife
in
to
the
the
back.
wall. You taped the knife to a wall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No. Come on. But nobody's going to do their job.
No jobs to be done around here.
Now I have this other story I put on here if you want to take a look at it.
Now, I did see this earlier. Now, this is a pretty disturbing video. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get it. Wow, it starts out quick. Let me.
Yeah, it's a video that emerged of a man being aggressively arrested in front of a Michigan pub on St. Patrick's Day by Royal Oak police officers. Yeah, let's take a look at this.
All right.
Wow, he's not even doing nothing.
Yeah, his hands are up.
He's
All right. Now let's go back
already in
here.
custody.
Now let's go back here and let's slow this down. All right, right here you see two cops trying to handcuff him. They got his hands behind his back and he's standing there. Now this cop here on his left, on our right, gets a little too excited. So let's see. All right, now we see 3 cops that are trying to put this guy's hands behind his back, and you see this guy over here on the left doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Look at her
excited,
face. Look at her face. She's like, oh fuck. She's like, what are you doing, Gary? What are you doing?
Yeah. And then this guy over here on the left, he didn't even look like he noticed what happened. It just looks to him like this guy's trying to run away because the cop pulls him down, does a spin away, and like, what was that cop even doing? Like, let me back it up a couple frames here. And then where'd he go? He just spun him around and then just...
He's on his knees.
He just disappeared. Like, what kind of move was that? The guy was cooperating.
Yeah.
And then look, he's standing there like, what the fuck are you guys doing to me? Like,
yeah, you see this dude running over like, dude, stop!
They're like, what the fuck is going? Like, all these people are watching these guys. Like,
if you watch Homeboy's hands, like they're up, they're like this. He's trying not to.
No, he's not. Not only is he like that, he's look at his hands. He's just
like, why?
He's just confused as to why is this happening to me. Look, I see one large officer, very large officer with his arms around this guy's neck, and another officer over here struggling to get up, and then this guy's just kind of casually like. And then we've got Captain Referee jumping in like.
God, he's ready. Looks like he's wearing like a pink spandex hat or like a
spandex bodysuit. Hold on.
Yeah, like a.
Hold on, look at his face. Look at his face. He's like, I don't even know what's. I'm sorry. This isn't really a time to laugh, but.
Yeah. Sorry that we're missing science theatering this video. Like, this is an extreme breakdown, but this is a ridiculous video.
Yeah, this is an extreme breakdown, but I want to make sure that we get the full scope of what's going on here. And then you hear all these people. He's not doing. And what is this cop doing? Is he just gonna go for a leg sweep, just like? Hey, let me just take this guy's legs out. You know, it doesn't matter that we're standing on fucking concrete, and he seems like he might be slightly inebriated.
Yeah.
And then,
yep, there he goes.
Boom. Down. Okay. Let me just look at this guy. Look at this guy. Jesus Christ.
He's like, oh, I can't wait to go get myself a Krispy Kreme after this.
Just look at the size of this officer. I just want to say, I swear I can hear him breathing overall. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make fun of him. I'm just saying.
I find it funny. He's pink. Look, he's pink. He's pink like a pig.
If you're going to be an officer, you got to stay in shape. I mean, get out of your car, walk around, talk to your community every now and again. Jesus Christ. Like,
stay off the fucking donuts.
Now, what are you doing? And also, I just want to take a second. To all of you that record videos, please, for the love of God, turn your phone on its side. Jesus Christ. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Please, just turn it, just... Now, what in the hell is happening right now?
I don't know. You should let it play and let us watch this.
No, I just want to point out, these officers are fighting each other using this guy like a rag doll.
Oh, I heard a taser.
Okay, I'd have to stop this again because... Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to roll that back because... just the sound. You hear the sound that he makes as the guy...
Now check cops on him too.
I mean, at this point, people are very upset, as they should be.
looks like this man knew a lot of people in the community and was
Yeah.
really upset. These people really came for his defense. Like,
Yeah, it looked like they were all about ready to start beating some cop ass.
I mean, this is just, and you can see, you know that not all of these people, if you were to talk to them before this day, would have, not all of these people would have bad things to say about police. But I guarantee you, every single one of them that was standing around and saw this happen is now a Cop Block fan.
Yep.
I mean, and if they haven't heard of it, as soon as they do, they're going to be a fan because they witnessed the stupidity and the incompetence in action.
Yep.
To me, this is just insane. It's just,
It really is.
Let's watch the rest of this painful video. Now you can hear him saying, "I wasn't resisting. Why are you tasing? Why did you tase me? Why did you tase me?" Like, you can hear the pain in his voice, and I didn't see him resisting.
Yeah, no.
why is he shoving him like that? Look what he's doing with his knees.
I heard it again.
What the hell is the purpose of this, by the way? Why the hell don't they have him up and in a car at this point? Like,
Yeah.
now at this point, they're just taunting him and creating a bigger scene. Like,
Yeah,
what the?
they just getting the people more active so they could try to lock more people up.
This is their adrenaline game. This is their, this is their show of force.
This is the kind of bullshit that needs to stop. Resisting. He's already in custody. What the fuck?
Now, were other people there about to start fighting in front of the police?
We don't know.
It's a whole lot of crazy stuff, man.
The police these days are just insane.
Yep.
Well, we're getting towards the last 5 minutes of the show. We're this week and from now on, we're going to try to keep these shows to 1 hour. We will go over if we get on to like a topic or if we have a guest or whatever. But we're going to try to keep it to an hour just for the viewers' sake. So you guys can get more of the show, and we're trying to condense everything down. So more killer, less filler.
Yeah.
No pun intended. Yeah, I reverse that. Less filler, more thriller. There we go.
Yeah, it's still bad. That's kind of sexual. But
yeah, but it's better than killer.
Yeah.
I can't wait for next week.
Oh yeah, and hopefully we do get out tomorrow and we can get some of that stuff done so we can have some fun stuff to show you guys next week. But thank you very much for tuning in. I am Matt of Carbon County Cop Block.
And I am Scott Marshall of the Oath Accountability Project.
And Rick Gonzalez from Allentown Cop Block. Check it out.
And hey guys, don't forget to tune in on Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to Cop Block Radio. You can find us at copblock.org/show.
And also, check out the Cop Block store. That's copblock.org/store. You can get all kinds of stuff like shiny badges. You can get monogrammed hats. You can get Cop Block pants. I think they still got all that stuff. You can get Cop Block lapel pins. I mean, all that stuff. Also, head over to Cop Block, find the tab or find the page that's got the address to write our buddy Dio. our buddy Dio's doing a bid right now on some bullshit, and you know he really appreciate it. So that's it for you guys.
Well, back to
Don't
the
check-
radio show for Wednesday real quick.
yeah,
I just want to
sorry.
make sure you guys know that if you guys tune in, you can not only you'll find me, but you'll also find Severin Freeman of Lehigh Valley Cop Block, and this week's special guest host is Ademo Freeman, one of the higher up guys in the Cop Block organization. So it's gonna be a fun show. You guys should tune in.
All right, and that's going to be it for this episode of Cop Blast Podcast. See you guys next week.
Peace.